August the 20th, 2023. Guys, you're looking at satellite images over Southern California coming out of Mexico. And it's now 7:18 a.m. More than likely, it's, I think, 5:18 or so on the West Coast. But the sun hasn't risen, so we don't have visible satellite images yet. This is infrared radar. Here is the California-Mexico line. You can see this long line of moisture that's pulling up here. Starting to get a little heavier. You're getting a lot of lightning in certain areas, guys. Already I was looking at one of the LA TV stations. But what I'm noticing, the storm is south of here, that the right side here is more heavily loaded with moisture. And what that's going to mean, possible impacts maybe as far as Phoenix, Arizona. Everyone could use some rain now. But again, what you got is this large area of moisture moving all the way up the west coast. Now that it's getting wrapped around that high pressure area that's been baking the central part of the country for a couple of months now. It's going to continue. Now moving south with this radar, you can see where a storm is now. This is about halfway up the Yucatan, a little further. Getting close to California now. You're a couple hundred miles out. But the heavier thunderstorms are on the far right side of this band right here. You've got the Yucatan, and between there the Sea of Cortez, and here Mexico proper. If you live in the Southern California or Southern Arizona, anywhere in that area, we don't know how high the winds will be when it gets there. Probably tropical storm force, and that's up to 74 miles per hour, and that's enough to take out power. So make sure that you've got everything charged, all your weather radios, flashlights, cell phones, anything you need for communications, and keep an eye on where this is at in your location, guys. Now, backing this out, again, this is NT Microphysics because we do not have daylight on the west coast yet. Here's the center of circulation right there. It's not far from you guys, moving north at about 18 miles an hour. But notice how far it is, and it's coming into Canada. And what we're seeing is, guys, this high pressure area is controlling this entire system. Check this out right here. This is this heat dome that we're under. Right there. And everything is trailing up and around it. And it looks like the East Coast is going to end up with some storms from this system that's on the opposite side of the country, almost catacombal, southwest into the northeast. But look at that. That's a lot of moisture trailing. It's not heavy in very many places except where we looked at in Mexico itself. Now it's going to be different patches of weather, but you're going to see this full wraparound coming into the northeast. Now here's a system moving into the Gulf of Mexico right there. We're going to watch it supposedly coming into South Texas. We're still getting feeder band moisture pulling off the system that's in the Pacific Ocean. Down in the bottom right, you've got a system coming in that they're already tracking, and it's supposedly going to come into the Caribbean and head north like this. A couple other storms behind it. Let's take a look. Now, this is looking at the wide view of the Atlantic. You've got the storm coming into the Gulf of Mexico now, the one coming into the Caribbean. This one's projected to move forward and then cut up north into the opening left by the high pressure area. Now, looking at the wider view this morning, storm coming into the Gulf south of Florida here. It's going to mix with the moisture that's trailing off of Hurricane Hillary. Here's your system coming into the Caribbean. It's projected to move west and then north into this gap. Storm here, and here's the large one that came off the African coast late yesterday afternoon. And here's what we got. Again, 7:27. This is the 8 a.m. report, which was Eastern time, so it's been out 27 minutes now. We've got this system in the Gulf, 50% chance of development. It says this area of disturbed weather located in the far eastern Gulf of Mexico is expected to lead to the formation of a broad area of low pressure early this week. Some slow development of the system could occur thereafter as it moves westward at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. A tropical depression could form as it approaches the western Gulf of Mexico coastline by Tuesday. We'll see if it takes it that long. Now behind there is the system coming into the Caribbean. You can see that it's predicted to move northward and northeastward as that high pressure system opens up that section. Tropical storm or tropical depression number 6 has sustained winds at 35 miles per hour. It is moving west at 15 miles an hour right now. The big one coming off the coast last night, there's 50% chance of development, and it looks like it's going to overtake this storm that's moving very slowly, which has an 80% chance of development. So showers and thunderstorms continue to show those signs of organization in association with an area of low pressure located several hundred miles west-northwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. The current trends continued. A short-lived tropical depression or tropical storm is likely to form later today or tonight while it moves west-northward at about 10 miles an hour. By Monday, upper-level winds are forecast to strengthen over the system, and further development it is not expected. Behind it, 50% chance. It says this large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the far eastern tropical Atlantic is associated with a tropical wave. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of the system, and a tropical depression could form later this week. Now, as the sun rises over the Atlantic, we're getting a better image or better view of what we're dealing with. Here's your line of storms. The main ones we're going to worry about now are the one in the Caribbean here that's projected to move up along the east coast, and the system moving into the Gulf itself. Now, the sun has not risen that far. We're not getting that clear of images yet, but that won't take very long. But you guys, all the way over on the west coast, there are evacuation zones now, and people are being told to get out of it. More than likely low-lying areas. Remember, you're also going to have lightning. I watched it for about 5 minutes this morning. There was 500 strikes already in Southern California. So keep an eye on it, guys. Be prepared. Don't get caught off guard. If you can help your neighbors there, if they're flooding or power goes out, do what you can. We're watching this. You watch it. There will be updates as the morning goes along. Be safe.